Do I think Caitlyn should say something? I don't think that she has the responsibility to. I think it's still a lot. It's unfair to put that on a player.
Hello, guys. Before we jump into today's video, I just want to say thank you for sticking with the channel. Lately, our videos haven't been getting the views they used to, and honestly, it's been frustrating. Sometimes I see other channels upload very similar videos after mine and end up getting far more views. I don't know why that happens or how YouTube's algorithm works, but it can be discouraging. Still, I'm not giving up because I truly enjoy making these videos for you. If you appreciate the hard work I put into this channel, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with others. Your support makes a huge difference, and together we can keep growing this amazing community. Thank you for always being here. So, lads, we need to talk about something because I honestly think this is an important conversation. We have to be crystal clear about what's happening here. There is a growing group of people, and remember, this discussion is coming from a podcast featuring a former WNBA player, who seem to believe the league would somehow be better off if Caitlin Clark simply disappeared from the picture. They want her gone, and they're not exactly hiding that opinion anymore. You'll hear people say it's not that they dislike her, they just don't want her to dominate every conversation. But let's be honest, that's not changing anytime soon. Caitlin Clark continues to be the biggest draw in women's basketball. So in their minds, the only way the right players can become the faces of the league is if Caitlin Clark decides to leave. That's the argument being pushed. And what happens if that actually happened? A huge portion of basketball fans would leave with her. We all know discussions surrounding Caitlin Clark can get completely out of control from both sides. If you don't believe that, just look at Raven Johnson's comment section whenever she says something positive about Caitlin Clark. The backlash can be absolutely wild. Now here's the part that really stands out. During her Time Athlete of the Year interview, Caitlin Clark made sure to credit Black players for building the league. Yet she has never publicly mentioned Lauren Jackson when discussing the players who helped shape the WNBA. Why? Many people believe it's because mentioning Lauren Jackson would immediately bring criticism. The same goes for Sue Bird. Instead, she consistently mentions Cheryl Swoops, despite the well-known tension between them. So let's take a listen to what was actually said.
Do I think Caitlyn should say something? I don't think that she has the responsibility to. I think it's still a lot. It's unfair to put that on a player, but I have a lot less grace for it than I did in 2024, where I was like, hey, she just got here. There's so many people using her to, further agendas. She's a kid, blah, blah, blah. This is now 3 years into her career. And if she's silent, it's her decision to do so. And it will be read as such. I don't think she has to, but the choice to be silent is also an action. And that will be judged. And for me, this is the opinion of Roz, I think it would be cool to hear from Kayla. I think she's a good person. I'm sure she's not at all, hoping these types of things happen to her fellow colleagues of the WNBA. I think it'd be cool if she was like, yo, don't do this.
Caitlin Clark has said this fucking something 50 times. There's a 5-minute long damn compilation of Caitlin Clark basically saying, don't spread hate. Anyone spreading hate is fucking wrong. And she literally went in her exit interview as a rookie and said people that are using her name to spread hate aren't fans, they're trolls. And people are like, oh, Caitlin needs to come out and say, I don't want any of you guys. You guys aren't my fans. It's like, well, one, she has said that. And two, people want her to literally say, to every one of Caitlin Clark's fans, don't support me, support this other person. Because there's a very big difference between, Caitlin already said if you're using her name to spread hate, you're not her fan. She's already said that. What they want her to do is say, don't support me, support her. Stop watching me, support them. And that's not going to help anything either. So they wanted her to quit. They wanted her to quit. It's very fucking clear. But this starts off not too bad, and she says it time after damn time after time after time after time again. Let's be very clear. People saying they want Caitlin Clark to speak up, she already has at least double-digit times. She has defended Angel Reese for taunting her after losing the biggest game of her life. She has defended Kennedy Carter for attacking her for basically calling her what sounded like, I'm not accusing, saying her skin tone, then the B word, and beating or trying to beat her up. She has basically apologized to people who have beat her up, who have ruined what was one of the biggest days of her life, who have made her life infinitely tougher. I don't mean this in a bad way because her life isn't ruined. Who have made her life infinitely harder to live. She's apologized to these people. And Alyssa Thomas is another person who's done that. People have selective fucking amnesia with what Caitlin Clark says. Nothing will ever be enough. And I'm not saying Caitlin Clark shouldn't speak out when asked about it, but I mean this. Every single person knows where Caitlin Clark stands socially. Every single person knows where Caitlin Clark stands politically. Every single person knows publicly who Caitlin Clark is. Like, oh, well, I don't have any grace for this. This is a former WNBA player podcast being funded by Just Women's Sports. She's not silent. That's the worst part about this. She's not silent. She's just not spending every waking moment worried about what people are saying online, because that's what people want out of her. They want to break her. I don't know if they want to break her. They want her gone. Whether that's breaking her into quitting, whether that's doing what happened when DJ Carrington went and called her out when she didn't like the way she answered the fucking question, and Caitlin goes and looks like a shell of a human being and scores 7 points because it just broke her. Like, they want to break her. I don't know if it's the extent of quitting. The ideal scenario for all these people is that they break Caitlin Clark so fucking badly that she becomes an average basketball player. That's their goal. Their goal has to be that, because there's no way that people can have this much selective amnesia. He doesn't choose to be silent. You dumbass. Sorry, but you're attacking an individual, so I will call you that. That would be judged. Judged by what? Because you developed selective amnesia. Because she doesn't, instead of speaking out 75 times, she's only spoken out 33 times. And that's an exaggeration. Instead of speaking out every single damn day, she speaks out when she's asked. Like, I'm sorry, that would kill anyone. Could you imagine? Could you fucking imagine? Could you genuinely imagine if Asia Wilson, because let's be real, the stuff out, could you imagine if Asia Wilson was asked to apologize for that friend she has that allegedly beat the crap out of some kids? Could you imagine if she was asked to apologize every single day for that? She literally went on Threads and she was asked to apologize and said, no, I still like this guy, I'm not doing it, and no one ever mentioned it. Could you imagine that? That would be fucking exhausting. That would be exhausting. Could you imagine if South Carolina fans or UConn fans were asked to apologize every single time fans go after someone on social media? Or if Paige Buchers was asked to apologize for UConn fans going after Anissa Morrow, going after basically any single player on her team that isn't up to the level? Could you imagine if Angel Reese was asked to speak out every single fucking time? It would be exhausting. You don't expect that from players, nor is it expected on any other player other than Caitlin Clark. Why? And Caitlin Clark, everyone's like, oh, Caitlin Clark would never have this speech that Paige Buchers has made. I'm pretty sure she's made that same speech 100 fucking times, and that's an exaggeration. She's made, like, her Sports Illustrated speech was basically Paige Buchers' speech. An article about her winning Athlete of the Year, they got quotes from her teammates, not about how Caitlin Clark is or what she has done. No, they made sure to quote and bring in Tammy to talk about how Caitlin Clark spawns racism. Like, an article that's meant to celebrate Caitlin Clark was essentially a Caitlin Clark white people bad bullshit article, and Caitlin Clark just sat there and took it. She has taken so much abuse only for people to pretend she's still been silent. No, fuck off. It would be cool to hear from you. You have selective amnesia. Would it be cool to hear from Caitlin? What would be acceptable? Caitlin say, it's not cool to use my name for hate. Like, she said that 100 fucking times. That's not enough. Do you want her to say, I'm sorry, Alyssa Thomas, for hitting your fist with my neck. I'm actually gonna quit. For Team USA, I'm quitting so that Alyssa Thomas can take my spot. Like, what? How far do they want her to go? How far do they want her to go? And the thing is, how far they want her to go is as far away from the WNBA as fucking possible. Or it'd be bullshit because people are like, oh, they want her to be irrelevant. That does not matter. As long as Caitlin Clark is good at basketball, she's going to be relevant because of the 30 bomb, because of the highlights, because of all that. You don't lose fans when you get the fans you gain. You don't lose all of them by speaking out. They don't want her to be popular. None of these people want Caitlin Clark to be popular. Let's be real. Like, oh, she's a good person, she has to speak out. How much is too fucking much? How many times? How many times does she have to speak out?
impossible to ignore because the conversation surrounding Caitlin Clark has reached a point where it feels completely disconnected from reality. Every time something happens involving her, the narrative somehow shifts away from what actually took place and turns into another damn debate about what she should have done differently. And that's exactly why so many fans are frustrated. Of course, nobody is saying that anyone hopes for conflict, but let's be honest about one thing. After being cheap-shotted multiple fucking times, nobody should be expected to apologize for being on the receiving end of those plays. That's the part that doesn't make any damn sense. Instead of holding the player responsible for making unnecessary contact, the conversation somehow becomes about Caitlin Clark needing to explain herself. That's backwards bullshit. We've seen this pattern play out again and again. Just days before another controversial incident, there were already questions about physical plays directed at Caitlin Clark. Then another hard collision happens, another heated debate starts, and somehow she's the one being criticized. Meanwhile, Alyssa Thomas doesn't offer a fucking apology or even acknowledge the situation. Whether people believe the contact was intentional or accidental, the reality is that fans continue to see repeated incidents involving the same players, and that naturally creates skepticism. What makes the entire situation even more frustrating is the reaction from parts of the media. Instead of focusing on the basketball itself, the discussion constantly turns into another damn debate about what Caitlin Clark should say, what statement she should release, or who she should defend next. It feels like the expectations placed on her are completely different from those placed on every other player in the league. And, honestly, it's bullshit. Take the stalking situation, for example. That wasn't some minor online disagreement. Someone allegedly managed to get into her apartment building. Security had to be increased, there were reports involving Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and the legal system ultimately handled the situation with a jail sentence. Yet instead of simply acknowledging how serious that was, some commentators questioned whether Caitlin Clark had spoken enough about it publicly. Imagine expecting an athlete to constantly discuss an experience that involved genuine fucking safety concerns. Most people would understand wanting privacy, but somehow that grace wasn't extended to her. This is why so many people believe the criticism has gone far beyond basketball. Every interview becomes another opportunity for someone to ask why she hasn't made another statement, another apology, or another public comment. No matter how many times she has already addressed issues surrounding hate, sportsmanship, or respect, critics continue acting as though she has never spoken at all. That's just bullshit. If Caitlin Clark had the personality to fight back publicly every single week, this conversation would probably look completely different. She could call out unfair reporting, she could criticize media narratives, she could demand more support from the Indiana Fever, she could respond directly to players who take shots at her on social media or during games. But she doesn't. Instead, she continues showing up, playing basketball, answering questions, and trying to move forward like damn professional. The Indiana Fever deserve credit as well. The organization has largely avoided adding fuel to online drama. Players aren't constantly engaging with every controversy on social media because anyone spending every waking hour reading comments about this team would probably lose their damn mind. The amount of criticism directed toward this roster is unlike almost anything we've seen in recent WNBA history. Even Raven Johnson has experienced significant backlash simply for saying positive things about Caitlin Clark. Social media has become a place where almost every compliment or opinion turns into another fucking argument. That's not healthy for players, fans, or the league itself. What's disappointing is that so much attention is spent on controversy instead of basketball. The WNBA has incredible talent across the league, yet so many headlines revolve around off-court narratives involving Caitlin Clark. Every game becomes another opportunity for someone to manufacture outrage instead of appreciating what happens on the floor. And it's bullshit. The reality is simple. Caitlin Clark has become one of the biggest attractions in basketball. Whether people like that fact or not, millions of fans tune in because they enjoy watching her play. That doesn't diminish anyone else's accomplishments. It simply reflects the level of interest she has generated. If she ever decided to walk away from basketball, the impact would be enormous. Television ratings, attendance, online engagement, and media coverage would all be affected. That's just reality. She plays because she's competitive and wants to compete against the best players in the world, not because she wants constant fucking controversy following her every move. Then there are the conversations surrounding Team USA, where many fans believe the same narratives from 2024 continue to follow her. Questions about her character, her beliefs, and her intentions keep resurfacing despite her repeatedly speaking against hate and emphasizing respect for others. At some point, repeating the same accusations despite repeated public statements stops being fair criticism and starts becoming noise and bullshit. That's why many supporters believe there is no realistic way to make Caitlin Clark less relevant while she continues performing at an elite level. As long as she plays great basketball, people will continue watching. The only way that changes is if the pressure becomes so overwhelming that she no longer wants to play. Whether anyone actually wants that outcome is something only they can answer. At the end of the day, basketball should be the focus. Fans want to watch great players compete, rivalries develop naturally, and the league continue growing. Hopefully, that's where the conversation returns, because the sport deserves to be bigger than endless damn controversy. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another update.